Weeaboos unite! Azur Lane Wave 3 is here, and there is plenty to look at. Welcome back to Legends with Derka. Today, we are going to break down the 6 new commanders, 3 new ships, and show off the new camos as well to help you guys decide what's worth copping and what's worth dropping. Timestamps will be in the description below to help you navigate the video, so let's not waste any time and get right to it. Let's start by looking at the commanders, 6 new ones in all, some of which I would say are more valuable than others, but I'm going to reserve my opinions for the end of the video so you can choose to hear them or not. The first commander, Montpelier. This is an American cruiser commander. She is going to increase your cruiser's AA gun range by 10%. She also has a unique skill. It looks like it's going to be in slot 3, and it will increase shell grouping 4%, incoming fire dispersion 10%, but also increase how much damage you take by 5%. Azuma, a Japanese cruiser commander. Her base trait will increase maximum cruiser speed and fire dispersion 10% each. She has a unique skill, Special Gunnery Training slot 4. Increases AP shell damage and penetration. 15% for the damage, 10% for the penetration, but it's also going to decrease shell grouping by 5%. Shoukaku. Her base trait, increase your speed by 5% in carriers, and Crane's Protection slot 3, decrease bomber detectability by 10%. Yukikaze. She's going to increase destroyers' average AA damage by up to 20%, and she has a unique skill, Evasive Hunter, in slot 4 that will increase incoming fire dispersion and concealment rating while shooting from inside a smoke screen 5 and 10% respectively. Avrora, a Russian commander. She will decrease shell type switching times by up to 20%, and a unique skill in slot 3 will increase cruiser AP and HE shell damage by 10%, but also bring your shell grouping down 5%. And finally, Littorio, an Italian battleship commander. Her base trait decreases the repair time of incapacitated modules as well as the duration of fire and flooding on your battleship by 10%. Her unique skill will decrease flood and splash damage for your battleship by up to 10% as well. Alright, in addition to these 6 commanders, there are 3 standalone ships to look at. The first of which is going to be a sister ship of the Cleveland American class Tier 7 cruiser, Montpelier. After looking her over, it appears she is a Cleveland with shorter gun range, longer reload, but a little bit more mobility. About a knot faster and 0.4 of a second off of the rudder is what I saw on my builds. So if you were interested in a slightly more agile Cleveland, there you go. Azurlane Yukikaze. It is a more gun-focused version of the Tier 6 premium torpedo boat. On our setup, we got the reload down to 5.2 seconds using Vinny Mordov. Worth pointing out, the torpedoes absolutely wreck face, 21,000 damage apiece. However, their detectability, 2.3 kilometers. That might make these the least stealthy torpedoes in the entire game, but definitely at Tier 6. Reaction time, 13 seconds. Red team will quite literally see these things coming from over a mile away, but if they don't, or they don't get out of the way, those torpedoes are going to hurt. Back to the guns. Compared to all of my other destroyers at the tier, this came in 3rd place for HEDPM, so there is something here to this gunboat, not mentioning a 9% fire chance. We might revisit her a little later on and see what kind of potential we can squeeze out. Moving on, the last ship, Avrora. It is a unique Aurora class Tier 2 Soviet protected cruiser, and from what I understand, you can earn her for free in an upcoming mission. Okay, the custom skins. Again, call me a fanboy, but I love the Azur Lane skins. I think they're very cool. The Roma skin is fantastic, and the Azuma one as well. Now, my opinion, What of all this is worth your hard-earned money? It's really a question only you can answer, however, I will give my 2 cents. The commanders don't quite come close to the awesomeness of previous waves. I mean Azurlane Baltimore, Azurlane Scharnhorst. Separately, I probably use them on over 15 different ship builds just because of how useful they are. And these here, meh. But let's go over one each individually as inspirations and see kind of how useful they were. Avrora. Decreases shell switch time 20%. It could be interesting. That's 4 seconds off of a 20-second reload, say Azuma for instance, or 6 seconds off of a 30-second battleship reload like Iowa, Alabama, or Massachusetts. Moderately useful, I suppose. Montpelier. AA firing range. This could be something that I probably really wouldn't spec into, seeing as how I only face a carrier maybe 2 out of 5 matches currently at tier 7. I think it could be useful when team tournaments start taking place for a specific AA build. Azuma. If you're a cruiser commander and like agile builds, the 2% buff to speed and fire dispersion could be useful. Shoukaku. Buffing carrier speed. Again, maybe useful. I suppose I could use it, considering sometimes I look for inspirations to use on my carriers and generally just end up putting Swirsky on there for concealment just because. Yukikaze. You could buff the AA on your destroyer. Say you use an anti-air destroyer like Friesland, if you are into that sort of thing. Again, it's highly specialized, and I don't think it would be useful in every match. And Littorio, I think, is a rather cool commander for tank battleships, which is something I would like to delve more into. This with damage control mod, and you could make your battleship very, very hard to take out of the fight. And I like this concept. Survivability has always been a minor focus for me. Anyone following the channel knows things like flammable cannoneer are a big no-no in my eyes. I want to keep my battleship in the fight as long as possible and frustrate the enemy and take as much of their time as I can protecting my cruisers and other small ships. It can be very useful to your team to tank damage. As for the accuracy part of it, if you're needing an Italian accuracy commander, you don't have to spend money on this. I have it on good authority from the community manager for World of Warship Legends. There will be a free accuracy commander eventually. It will probably be after this update. I could see that being the way that it goes. So if you are just buying her for an accuracy commander, you don't have to. The ships. If you were into full agile cruisers, Montpelier could be an option. Double rudders, full Kincaid agile build with Azurlane Baltimore and Mueller gets her to 38.1 knots and a 1.8 second rudder. That is a pretty tough boat to hit, no doubt. However, all of this mobility hurts your gun performance. 13.9 kilometers is not very good for tier 7 and legendary tier, and a 6.6 second reload. Azur Lane Yukikaze. Great HE Alpha and Torp Alpha, but I still think there are gunboats out there that could do it better. If you are in need of a tier 6 gunboat, consider it. Otherwise, I would say things like the Z35 are simply better and would be a better use of your money. And Avrora, what's to say? She's a free tier 2, you can get her, yeah, there you go. Overall, that's wave 3, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. Also, be sure to smack that thumbs up button as it helps me out a lot when bringing you guys videos like this. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.